Welcome to the After Hours Talk Show with Melanie and Keul here on Edge 88.
Woo woo! Gonna be a good show tonight.
Yeah, we got some crazy news, local news.
That's right. That's what we're gonna start off with. First, my first crazy news story. All right, a California pumpkin contest had a pumpkin that was just 31 pounds shy of 1 ton. For those of you who aren't good at math, that is a 1,969 pound pumpkin.
That is a big pumpkin. I've seen big pumpkins at the fair, but that just sounds huge.
So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna play a little game. I'm gonna say something, and you're gonna tell me if you think it weighs 2,000 pounds, as much as this pumpkin.
Okay.
Ready? A smart car.
Lower.
Lower. Yes. A small hippo.
Higher.
Actually, exactly 2,000 pounds. A small hippo. An adult rhino.
Oh, higher.
No.
What?
An adult rhino is 1 to 2 tons.
How is that even possible?
That's right. So it's a small adult rhino, but an adult rhino nonetheless. What you got for me?
Okay. Well, my story is that, so we had the Chicago Marathon this past weekend, and I saw some crazy costumes and crazy people running it.
Well, of course. I mean, the Chicago Marathon's always a fun time. They always do a good time with that.
But this is even bigger and better than that.
Bigger and better?
Yes. Okay, so a couple is running, and they couldn't decide. They're engaged. They couldn't decide on how they wanted to get married. One of them wanted a really big wedding. The other one wanted a short and sweet ceremony. So Stephanie Reinhart had it her way, but Mark Jockel also had it his own way because they got married at mile 8 of the Chicago Marathon.
Like they got married in the middle of the marathon?
Yes.
Holy cow.
They were both wearing their running outfits, but they kind of added a little twist to it. The girl had a white running outfit and held flowers, and Jocko, the man, had a tuxedo t-shirt, and they had a 4-minute ceremony.
You know, that's really cute. I just feel like it wouldn't work for me personally for one very, very small reason, and that is that I hate running. I would never be able to do that. I wouldn't get to mile 8. It'd be like mile 2, and I'm passed out on the side being like, can we get married now?
Oh, yeah.
Please?
Well, I think it fit this couple.
Oh, I'm sure it did. So, I got a story about possibly the worst ant in the history of the world. The worst ant. And I mean like A-U-N-T, like Aunt Jennifer in this case. So we have this woman, and she is suing her 12-year-old nephew. Her 12-year-old nephew for $127,000. Ask me why.
What did her nephew do?
When her nephew was 8, note that her nephew is 12 now.
Okay.
So
So 4 years ago.
Yes.
Because I can do math.
Well done. I'm very proud of you.
Thank you.
When her nephew was 8, she went and he jumped into her arms, and she fell and broke her wrist, and now she is suing that nephew 4 years later for damages.
Did she fall off a cliff or something, or did she just fall onto the ground?
She fell onto the ground, broke her wrist, and she claims that it hurt. It made it difficult for her to hold her plate because she's a waitress. So
I can understand that.
But still, to sue your 12-year-old nephew.
Well, and obviously that woman meant a lot to the nephew because he greeted her in such a way.
And when he did it, I actually have this quote. He yelled, "Aunt Jenny, I love you."
That is so sweet and so horrible at the same time.
And she sued him. Don't worry, this story does have a happy ending.
Okay.
A Connecticut jury did rule that the 12-year-old was unaware that he could hurt his aunt when he was 8.
So he's safe.
So he is perfectly safe. They ruled that he does not have to pay her $127,000.
Well, that is a relief.
I'm just saying, that would make Thanksgiving dinner really awkward going
Oh,
forward.
incredibly awkward.
Very awkward.
All right, well, I have a more uplifting story
Okay,
to
thank
end
you.
on.
I feel like we need that.
Okay, so, you know the pizza drivers that drive around, deliver the pizzas?
Yeah, they're usually pretty nice guys.
Yeah, normally you tip them just a couple bucks, like $2 to $3 for their time, and that is their job. But this pizza driver earned an incredibly high tip.
How high?
Just take a guess first.
You said incredibly high, right?
Yes.
$75.
Higher than that.
$150.
It was, I'm just going to stop you here. It was $1,000.
He got tipped $1,000?
It was actually a woman, yes. But
holy cow.
what happened was this church was doing a series on giving a lot of money and just being generous.
Wow.
And they ordered a pizza, and then they called the pizza driver onto the stage and then gave them this tip.
Man, I'm not a pizza driver, so I don't understand exactly what that would be like, but that has to be like the best thing that could ever happen to a pizza driver. Like, that is absolutely amazing.
I agree. I would love to receive a tip like that.
Yeah, you're a waitress. What would you do if you received $1,000 tip?
Well, I would probably just put it toward college right now.
Well, that's incredibly boring.
Yeah.
I was hoping for something a little bit more exciting than that. All right, next up here on Edge 88.1, we have We Are Done by the Madden Brothers. That was Life's a Beach here on Edge 88.1. This is the After Hours talk show with Melanie and Keul. So, next up we got a little bit of local news heading your way. Melanie, what do you have for us?
Okay, so you know that I went to the Taylor Swift concert
I do know that.
last Thursday.
I sure do.
Okay, well, we got our tickets from someone online, and they were under their name. So I was a little bit worried when we got to the stadium, or Wells Fargo, and I was like, well, what if those people showed up too, and they use our tickets before we get in? That's kind of scary.
I can understand that. I don't think that's actually, like, is it possible? Or
I think it is. But anyway, we got there, got our tickets, got in there. It was fine, worked out. But the next day, I saw this story. Someone else was not so fortunate. They bought their tickets off of StubHub, and they spent $850 on them. It was a girl, Emma, and her brother, and they spent $850 on 2 tickets, and they got into the stadium, and then they got pulled out.
why'd they get pulled out?
Someone else had their tickets.
Someone else had their tickets, but they also had their tickets.
Yeah, they just found out, the people found out that the tickets were fraudulent, and so they did not get to see Taylor Swift, and they got their money back.
Well, that's good at
thankfully,
least. Oh my
but
goodness.
this girl was just so sad because all she wanted to do was see Taylor Swift perform.
You know, I actually have a funny story that's related to the Taylor Swift concert.
Okay, tell me about it.
So, I have season tickets to the Iowa Wild, and the Iowa Wild game was Saturday, and the Taylor Swift was Thursday. So,
Yeah.
after the Taylor Swift concert, there was still a bunch of like confetti hanging around in the rafters.
Yeah,
from
because that's
the-
where it fell from.
Obviously.
I can attest to that.
So then, like, with them having to, like, circulate air in the stadium and having everyone in there cheering and having
Yeah.
the speakers going loud, it actually caused some of this leftover confetti to fall throughout the entire game. So there was just, like, confetti raining down.
So is it going on the ice?
It was going on the ice, and it was actually causing the hockey players to skate over them and lose their grip and fall. So all the hockey players kept on falling onto the ice because of all this random confetti that kept on falling down.
That's pretty amusing, and it was the opener, right?
It was the season opener, and it was just like, oh man, that is unfortunate.
Yes, that's very unfortunate.
Fortunately, it was all fixed for Sunday's game, so I think afterwards they went back up and cleaned it out just a little bit.
All right.
Alrighty, I got another one. Or I got a local story for you.
Okay.
So in Fort Dodge, Iowa, the police department is doing something that I think is one of the coolest things that a police department can possibly do, and that is they're taking part 25% of the fines and parking tickets that they give out. They're collecting those, and then after all the court costs off of them, they're donating 25% of that to a food bank and giving it to homeless people.
Well, that's pretty cool. I mean, I guess if I deserved to get a ticket of any sort, then I would like to see at least some of the money go to some good cause.
Exactly, and it could amount to as much as $7,000 by the end when they're planning on stopping doing it. And that is just such a cool thing that the police are like, okay, these people do need help, and just being willing to do that. I think that's an awesome thing, and it is something that every police department should at least try.
Yeah, I agree. Maybe we should bring that to Des Moines.
Because ultimately, like $7,000 for the city of Fort Dodge really isn't. It's not a lot, It's not like they're missing a ton out of that.
Exactly,
but it's going to make a huge difference to these other people.
It's a significant amount for those who are going to use it.
So my hat off to you, Fort Dodge. You don't do a lot of things right, but this one, by golly, you got it right. Way to go.
All right, I have something just a little bit closer to home. Grandview, their theater department, is going to perform a new play this weekend, and it's called Dancing at Lunasa. It's a classic Irish tale, and it is about...
Hey, it's Irish, is it?
Of course, yeah. And it's about a guy and his memory of growing up with his 4 aunts and mother.
So am I allowed to attempt speaking in an Irish accent until the play happens? Just for that one reason?
I would prefer you not.
You would prefer... Let me see. You prefer I not, eh? That's like switched into Canadian. That's not even Irish.
All right. Well, be sure to check that out.
I'm going to stick out of the whole Irish accent for that for a little while. I'll practice and I'll get back to you next week here on the show. All right. So I have an update for a story that we did a couple, 3 weeks ago, something like that, with when Tyler Sash, the Hawkeye football player, he passed away.
Yeah.
Well, they just released the findings of his autopsy, and they found that he was actually, the cause of death was an accidental overdose from some pain medication that he was on due to a bad shoulder that he got while playing football. So he was just taking his normal pain medication, and it was really bad, so he took a couple pills too many. And
that is really devastating.
Yeah, it's partly nice because there was a lot of, okay, was this suicide, was this whatever. So it's nice to hear that they did rule it as an accidental overdose, that it wasn't intentional or anything.
Yeah, it's good to know that it got cleared up in some ways.
It is still terribly sad, and but they are going to, he did donate his brain to research for concussions and effects like that. So it is going to a good cause.
All right, you're listening to Edge 88, and next up is Nearly Forgot My Broken Heart by Chris Cornell. You're listening to the After Hours Talk Show with Melanie Keul here on Edge 88.
And that was Dear Future Husband by Meghan Trainor.
You are correct.
Alrighty, so this is time for the Let's Get Ready to Rumble. Alrighty.
Things we dislike.
Things we dislike. Alrighty. So, one thing that I dislike quite a bit, actually, is when I'm sick, okay? And I don't get sick very often.
Yeah, neither do I.
Because I'm very careful about when someone else is sick.
Okay.
Okay,
so how'd you get sick?
How did I get sick? I got sick because of a jerk named Melanie. I'm just kidding. You're not a jerk. I'm just kidding with you. I got sick because you were sick, and I had to spend time with you doing school projects. And also, probably because your friend was also sick, and she decided she was just going to lean up on me that one time. And I was like, you are sick. Leave me alone. I don't want to get sick. Yeah, I was like, hand up, like, no. personal bubble right here, no sick zone. Now I'm sick. And it gets me ready to rumble.
I'm so sorry.
You know, because I understand that you're sorry.
Okay,
Just next time I expect better.
Okay,
I'm just kidding.
I'll try not to get sick next time.
Okay. If you could not get sick, then I won't get sick, and then everything will be happy and dandy.
And we will be in better moods, and life will be great.
I wouldn't say that either of us, even like when you were sick, and then like me, kind of yesterday and kind of today. Like, I don't think I've been in, like, a bad mood. I just think I don't like being sick,
Okay, I agree.
That's all there is to it.
I have a little rumble for you.
You got a little something to rumble about?
Yep.
A little
okay.
rumble?
So,
a little rumble?
I will continue on. I went to the Taylor Swift concert.
Okay, so we're going back to the Tay Swizzle concert.
And it was the majority. Okay, so there were about 14,000 people there, and I would not be surprised if like 13,958 people were females.
That's a
there.
very
specific
very
number, right?
exact number.
Yeah. Well, okay, so there were a lot of females there, and a lot of teenage girls, little girls, and they all had their phones out. Now, I understand videotaping because you want to remember it, but they all had their Snapchats up, and they just had to show it to other people.
It was all about the Snapchats.
Yes.
Oh, boy.
I could not handle that. I was just like, please, put your phone away. No one wants to see that poor iPhone quality video and hear just a bunch of girls screaming because you can't even hear the artist because of the way that they're videotaping.
No, I want to hear that. I do.
Okay, well, I have a couple videos to show you later.
I'm just kidding. Yeah, I can definitely see how that would be very, very annoying. It's, like I have this one friend, and every single day, his Snapchat has to be 3-4 minutes long.
Yes, the stories.
And it's not even his my story, and it's not even of stuff that is even interesting. It's like, oh, look at me, I'm crossing the street right now. And then it's like oh, look at me, I'm on a sidewalk. It's like,
congrats for crossing the street.
Yeah, it's like, save that stuff for something that's actually a little bit interesting, maybe just a little bit interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
What else gets you ready to rumble?
Okay, what gets me ready to rumble, and this comes from a story from when I was on my way to the studio tonight.
Okay.
This happened. So I was driving on Easton.
Yes.
And on Easton there's that hill right by St. Joseph's. Okay?
Yes, I do, because I drive that road a lot.
Yes. So I was going up the hill, and there's this group of 8 to 10 probably, kids, 10 to 12, somewhere around there,
years old.
Age, 10 to 12 years old. And I was and they were waiting to cross to get to the skate park, and I was like, it's busy. They won't just try to cross, probably. No, they just run across the street. Well, not even run, a brisk jog at the best. And I have to slam on my brakes to not hit one of them who's he can't be more than 10 years old.
Yeah.
He was this little tiny kid, and I have to slam on my brakes, and I got maybe 5 feet from hitting him because he just ran out in the middle of the street. I'm like, what? What makes you think that is okay?
Isn't that just terrifying?
It is.
I had the exact same thing happen today, only it was on East 14th, which I would say is an even busier road.
Yeah, it is, for sure.
It was just one older man trying to cross the road, and thankfully I saw him from a long way away, but my comments to myself were just, oh man, oh poor little man, please don't try to cross the street, please don't do that.
No, he did it. He
did it, but he was safe.
It's just, to me, it's just a matter of if you don't have enough time to get through just walking, then you really shouldn't even attempt it. Unless you're going to sprint, then you just look kind of funny, but at least you get out of the way.
Well, and you think, how hard is it to just wait for the crosswalk sign to be on?
Yeah, and it's safe for them to do that. Listen, I'm not going to get physically injured. I would hate it if that happened. Don't get me wrong, but the little kid that I was talking about, he would not be alive anymore. That is significantly worse than anything that would have happened to me. And I'm like, you are the one who is putting yourself at risk. You need to not do that.
Yeah.
It's a bad idea. And if you can't tell, it gets me ready to rumble. It
I can
fires
tell.
me up
I
is
can
what that
tell,
does.
and I agree. I get ready to rumble as well when that happens. Okay, my last one is, but it just can't compare to that. But I just don't like bees. Bees have been out and about so much lately, and they're kind of freaking me out.
Bees are the worst thing in the world because they're small and they're quick, and you don't necessarily see them, but they will kill you.
And you don't know if they're actually gonna hurt you.
It's true. Like, they could land on you and do nothing, or they could land on you and make the rest of your life miserable. I don't like bees either. I can definitely get on board with you not liking bees. Next up, here on Edge 88.1, we have Irresistible by Fall Out Boy. Make sure you keep it locked for our last segment, My Favorite Things, coming up here on Edge 88.1. That was Angel by Theory of a Deadman here on Edge 88.1. All right, here. You know what? This is probably my favorite segment.
Oh, really?
Because it's a few of my favorite things. That's
clever.
Oh,
Clever.
boy. I'm a smart guy, aren't I?
Yes, you are.
All right.
Maybe.
What is a few of your favorite things?
Okay, my first favorite thing for this week is a game that I got for my birthday. It's called Tenzi, and it's a dice game. It's really fun. I know, I sound like a grandma when I say that.
You do. You're like, I was just over there playing my dice game.
With
and
all my old friends.
That's exactly what you sound like right now.
Okay, but it's really fun. You can buy a set of cards that have 77 different ways to play it, and it's kind of like Yahtzee in that you have to roll a whole bunch of the same number, but you get to do a bunch of different random things that are kind of fun. Like there's this one that's called Singsy, and you have to sing a song while you're rolling the entire time. And so I would say, like, even for a bystander, it's really funny to watch.
That actually reminds me of your last week's favorite thing, which was that like singing app. Maybe you just have a thing for singing games and games that involve singing.
Well, I do like singing, so that would make sense.
Well, I'm glad that you found a game that you can enjoy. I'm sorry if I won't ever play that with you.
Oh, you will play
boy.
someday.
Yay. I can't wait.
Okay.
Alrighty. My favorite thing is, we've all had it where we're driving in the car and, just driving somewhere, and you're listening to the radio, and all of a sudden that one song comes up.
Oh, yeah.
Your
jam.
You jam. Alright, so that happened to me on the way over here, and I'm kind of embarrassed to admit this, but I will.
What's the song?
Call Me Maybe.
Oh, my goodness.
I don't know. I hate the song, but something about it.
It's the beat.
The second it comes on in my car, I'm dancing to it. I'm like, call me maybe. Yeah, just like that.
And you just have to dance to it,
Dude,
and kind of get the back and forth motion while you're driving.
Oh yeah.
And then my favorite part about that is even especially if the radio isn't playing a song that you really like, it's looking at other drivers that are just jamming. And sometimes you can find they're listening to the same radio station as you, so you can even hear the words coming out, and they're just lip syncing it.
I actually had that one time where my windows were down and this other guy's windows were down, and we were at the same stoplight, and I was just jamming out to this. I forget what it was, but he was jamming out to the same song, and we just looked at each other like, yeah, we love this song, yeah. A little bit of driver camaraderie.
Yes.
Yes, okay. That is my favorite thing.
All right. Well, another one of my favorite things is free samples. I went to Galena, and there was this little shop downtown, and within that shop was just, you could just sample anything. It was just a bunch of jellies and salsas and all those different things. And they have the taste testing pretzels that you just dip everything into.
That's a meal.
Yes,
that sounds like a meal. That's what I was
thinking. I could have had an entire meal just on the pretzels and jam.
I can sympathize with that. I feel it's kind of depressing, when I walk through Hy-Vee, because it seems like there aren't really free samples anymore. When I was a kid, I remember there being free samples every Saturday.
Yeah, I know.
That's why
that was a big thing.
Yeah, I loved going to the store with my mom because I got free samples, and now it's I walk through and it's every now and then they'll have one of a new product.
Or you have to pay for it.
Yeah.
It's right at the front, and you have to pay for it.
Isn't that sad? It's no, give me my free sample. I am entitled to it.
Yes.
I
deserve it.
Yeah, not to sound super rude and entitled there, but I feel like free samples are not that big a deal for them to lose out on. Alrighty, my second favorite thing. This is coming up because like Thanksgiving's coming, November, fall, pumpkin pie. Oh, what I do is I cut off a sliver of pumpkin pie, just a tiny little sliver, and then I will heap on so much Cool Whip
Oh my goodness.
that you can't even see that it is pumpkin pie anymore.
So really, you just like the Cool Whip.
Well,
And you're disguising it by
the
getting a
pumpkin
little
pie
pumpkin
is
pie.
the vehicle for the Cool Whip. It is. I love it. What I'll do is my mom will bake a pumpkin pie, and I will honestly just grab the pan of pumpkin pie, lather on a ton of Cool Whip, and just go eat it
Okay.
in one sitting. And no shame. I have no shame about that.
I do kind of the same thing with like Doritos and chive dip. I really like chive dip, so I eat the Doritos with it, and I'm
And you
probably
just, like,
eating way too much
You
chive
just eat
dip.
so
but-
much chive dip
Or
that you
even
can
with,
barely
like,
tell it's Doritos.
carrots and ranch.
Yep.
You're
carrots-
not really eating it for the carrots. You're eating it for the ranch.
Oh yeah, it's all of those examples, and really any dip in general. Like dips are amazing.
Yes.
I love
That's
dips.
why they have shops for them.
Exactly, and like any dip, whatever you're eating the dip with, carrots, celery, whatever.
Yeah.
All that's just a means to get the dip. You don't want the carrots or the celery. You just want that there dip.
And you can't, like, it's not, I guess, apparently acceptable to
Just use
a
a
spoon.
Yeah, which I've done, and then, admittedly, it's a bad feeling after that. You just look there with a spoon in the dip, and you're like, this is what my life has become. I'm
Yeah.
now that guy who eats dip with a spoon.
All right. Well, that's all we have for tonight. But make sure to listen next week to the After Hours show with Melly and Coil here on Edge 88.
You folks have a good night out there.